Hi, I'm Lee Marsden, and this is a 60-minute relaxing sequence of floor poses. I hope that you enjoy it. You may like to have a firm blanket handy or a couple of blocks if you have them. These type of foam blocks, if you don't have them, you could also use books or roll towels or blankets. So if you want to grab any of those things, go ahead and grab them now. We're going to begin in Shavasana, so lying flat on the back. You don't need a mat for this practice. I won't be using one, but if you're more comfortable on the mat, you can roll that out and use it. So heading into Shavasana when you're ready, lying on your back. Let your arms and legs relax. Let the arms go nice and wide with the palms facing up. Let the legs and feet relax. Let all the muscles of the face relax. Let the arms and hands relax, the fingers softly curling in. And relax the belly. Begin to turn your attention inward to the breath. Observe how your breath is now. And begin to slightly deepen, breathing through the nose, inhaling and exhaling. Soft, deep, smooth breath. Quiet breath. See if you can make it even smoother, even in and out. Keep your attention on this inhalation and exhalation. Keep flowing like this. Observe the feeling of the breath entering the body and leaving the body. Notice that the mind may wander. Gently redirect. Smooth, deep inhalation. Long, slow exhalation. get settled back into this pattern. Once we move into our poses, settle back into this breath pattern that you've established here. So we're going to start with the arms and legs stretching. So big morning stretch. Stretch right into the sides of the body. Point and flex your feet. And then holding opposite elbows or forearms or wrists, we're going to wiggle the body towards the left, but keep the hips down. So start to wiggle the upper half of your body over. And then walking your feet and legs over to the left as well. So you end up in a nice curved shape, opening up into the right side of the body. Make sure your right hip is still down and establish your breath through your nose. Beautiful opening all the way up the waist to the ribs and the armpit. Relax your jaw and around the eyes so that you're here in a passive way. Relax your feet. You're observing your breath again here. Notice that whilst your body is performing the breathing and you are managing the breathing in some ways, body is also breathing by itself, and you're able to observe this as it happens. So like you're witnessing the breath. See if you can have a sense of that witnessing. And let's come back to the midline now. Gently back in. Relax your arms down for a moment. Observe the difference along your right side, the side we've just opened. Observe the feeling of space along that right side. And then finding opposite elbows or forearms or wrists again. Wiggling the body over to the right. Keep your left hip heavy. And then take the feet and legs over to the right as well. So you're in that banana or crescent moon shape. The nice stretch down the left side of the body. Bring a little bit more weight into your left hip. Now if your arms are not down on the floor over your head, you can always put your block or your blanket underneath them here. Relax your feet. Just allowing this shape to do the work for the body. You may notice as you're lying here in this shape that there's a sense or a feeling of something that's already happened in your day still held in the body. And our body has this memory, holds on to emotions right down deep. So at this stage, we're not trying to make any of those feelings stay or go. We're just observing what is present in the same way as you can observe your breath, you can observe your body from a deeper place. Few more rounds of breath in this side opening pose. And let yourself come back to the midline, release your arms. And next we're going to thread the needle. So bending the knees so the feet are in line with the knees. And lifting up the right leg, flex the toes back towards you as you go. And then crossing the foot over so that the sole is flush with the outside of the left knee, a little bit into the thigh. Let's see how things are now. Is this enough for you? Might feel enough. You might like to press the right thigh gently away a little bit more. Or maybe you'd like to thread the hands through to hold the back of the left thigh. And just keep this right foot with the toes coming back, heel forward. So the foot is flexed, but the left foot can relax. And we're going to hold here. This is pigeon on your back. Thread the needle. It's a nice way to get the same opening as pigeon without the pressure on your knee. You can gently press your right elbow into your right thigh to go a bit deeper if you need to. And it's up to you just to gauge that, what you need in the moment. Make sure your shoulders are still down on the floor or on the mat. You haven't lifted up off in order to thread the hands through. And if you have, you might be better off to drop that left foot back down and come into the first version. As we hold here and thread the needle, this right foot can get a little bit lazy and start relaxing, but I'd like you to keep the toes back, keep that foot flexed, and that action is supporting the knee on this angle. And returning to your smooth, even breath in and out of the nose. Keep yourself here in this moment. And we release the right foot now and let the legs stretch long for a moment. Just hug the left knee in. Then we take the other side with the right foot coming down underneath the left knee, left leg stretching up and the toes flexing back towards you. Crossing the foot over, keep the foot flexed. This side might be different. Check whether you'd like to stay here, perhaps gently pressing the left thigh away, or would you like to thread through and hold the back of the right thigh? So if your shoulders come right off or you're straining your neck, keep your foot down. Make sure those left toes are still back and relax your right foot this time. Feel you're lying evenly on your back, left to right side. Feel that the jaw is still relaxed, teeth relaxed. Feel that the breath is still coming in and out of the nose. Just allowing any sounds in your environment to come and go without your particular involvement. Not deciding that something should or shouldn't be. Let's go ahead and release the second side. Stretch your left leg long and draw your right knee up towards you. We're going to take bound angle now, here on the floor, recline, bound angle. Here is a place where you might like your rolled towels or your blocks if your hips are a little bit tighter. So bring the soles of the feet together, feet close to the body. And if your knees are very high, then you prop the blocks or the towels or the books underneath your thighs so you've got a little bit of support. Let your hands come beside you with the palms facing up. Gently, gently press the soles of the feet together and flare the toes out. Just a little bit of pressure. Keeping the feet together there. Let the fingers relax into the hands once more. Observe the body in this shape, in this pose. Once you become used to doing it, to observing the mind as it jumps about from one thing to the other, it has less power over you. And you can observe from a deeper place as a witness of it, rather than being the thoughts. So keep on practicing that. Notice, my mind is busy, if it is. My mind is returning to this particular thought. turn the light of your attention back onto your breath and your body, to the things that are happening right now. These things are reliable, things that are actually happening now. Whereas in the mind we can sometimes get lost in a little bit of interpretation and anticipation, analysis of the past. Using your hands, if you need to, at the outside of the thighs, bring the knees back up to pointing at the ceiling. Couple of nice deep breaths. And then we're going to roll over onto our bellies. Just making your way there now. And starting it with your head all the way down on your belly, to think about how your lower back is today, and really be cautious as you go up as to any pain in your lower back. You don't want to have pain in your lower back as you come into your back bend. So you can hold opposite elbows and be quite far down in the Sphinx. We're going to hold it for a wee while. So you don't want to be suffering here with any pain in your back, please. If you're ready, you can start bringing your elbows back towards you until you're all the way in the Sphinx. You can gently interlace your hands in front of the body, don't grip, or you can have the hands out. So you can relax in the Sphinx, you can let yourself sink in a bit more, relax your legs, relax the buttocks. We're going to hold here for a little bit of time. Let your head drop down if it's comfortable, or have your face a little bit further to the front. There's no need to lift strongly up through the head as we sometimes do in a more active practice. You may notice this settling in time into a new pose. So the body has adjusted from the last shape. So we're dropping into this shape now. And just notice if you do start to clench the buttocks as you hold, it can sometimes sneak in, and you can just gently rock the legs side to side to remind yourself that you're here in a passive way. And observe how it is to breathe in this shape, through the nose with your smooth, even breath. For the last little bit of time in this shape, you can stay as you are, or you can come higher if you feel like you need that. You can turn the hands out so that The thumb and index finger are making a little triangle, and you can straighten the arms in front of you. Again, you can sink a little bit down to your shoulders in this version. Keep your legs relaxed. Feel just a very slight lift up through the belly. Any pain in your lower back, please come down to the lower version. And let's roll really slowly down now, all the way down to resting on the folded hands, and let everything puddle down into the floor. Nice deep breaths into your lower back. So we're going to make our way now into child's pose with the knees together. So make your way in, scoop the knees forward, take the hips back towards the feet, and you can rest your forehead on your folded hands or on your block or books or blanket. Bring the hands around behind. Forehead can come to the floor if you can. So relax your shoulders here, let them drop down. Feel the expansion and the spaciousness of the lower back, this counterpose to our back bend that we've just been in. Coming up now and letting the knees go wide, wider than perhaps you normally would in a child's pose. So nice and wide with the knees, the big toes are together behind, coming forward, forehead can come to the block again, or the book, or the blanket, or all the way down to the floor. And remember to relax everything, this is a passive version. You may find as you're holding one of these shapes that it can be quite intense for you. If that's the case, if you find a pose very intense, I wonder if you can observe in the same way as you observe the emotions held in the body, as you observe the breath and the movements of the mind. Observe a strong sensation with your panya, your wisdom, that this sensation will change like all of the others. We're not wishing it to be different, but we understand that it will change. Okay, please make your way up from your child's and into a seated position. Taking bound angle seated, we were in bound angle recline before. Go seated this time, the soles of the feet together in front. And then we're going to take this right leg across the body a little bit more. And the left leg, we're going to bend at the knee and take the foot around towards the back. So that we're in this shape here, this is deer pose. The tendency might be for you to rock over a lot to the right so that your left hip is up. See if you can bring even weight in, and you might need to bring this right foot closer to the body to achieve that, and the left foot in close to the body. If you're a little bit more open, you can start bringing the feet further away from the body. You can also support under this right leg, the thigh, with your rolled towel, your blanket or your block if it's a long way away. Okay, so here in the deer, we're going to twist around over to the right. But first of all, we need to ground the sitting bones, lift up straight and long through the spine. We'll bring this left hand over towards the right knee and then start to turn, inhaling and exhaling around over the knee. You've got your right hand and fingertips behind you. You can look all the way behind if you like, or just keep neutral with your gaze. Close your eyes or relax your gaze on your point that you're looking at. Just gauging here with this right knee in particular, on the hip that's adducting. We want to make sure that there's no pain in this knee. So if you are feeling pain in this right knee with the hip that's externally rotating, then come out of the pose. Otherwise, we've got a few more breaths here. And then coming back towards the midline, releasing the left leg towards the front, finding bound angle again. Good place to establish the length through the spine. And then let's take the other side. So left leg coming across the body, right leg around behind. Remember, we want more weight over to this right hip this time, so we tend to rock over to the left. Take the foot more towards you, pad underneath your thigh, particularly if your knee is high. Any pain in your knee, come out. Find a comfortable seat and just focusing on your breathing if that's the case. Okay, if you're comfortably in, find your length, lift up tall. Right hand comes over to the left knee, inhaling here. Exhaling into your twist. Just gently move yourself in to a point that's not your maximum. So there's no need to go to as far as you possibly could with this. We want to remain in the zone of releasing the deeper tissues of the body, and we achieve that by just going in a more passive way, holding for a little bit longer. Couple more breaths here. Hope you're enjoying the nice stretch on the right thigh and into the right side of the body. And releasing on the exhalation back to the center. Bringing the right foot around so that the right leg is crossed in front of the left into your cross legs. And find yourself with the sitting bones right down and the spine straight. You might want to lift yourself up on your block or your blanket if you need to achieve that length up through the spine. Okay, and just let yourself sit here in your cross legs. Find your breath through your nose, close the eyes. We often talk about finding the breath, and that's the turning of attention back to that breath. Choosing to focus on that. We're going to let ourselves round in now. So often we come forward with the straight spine in the active practice. We're going to let ourselves round in. So just make your way forward as much as is suitable. And you can use your block or your blankets again here. You can put your block under your head. You can just have your head hanging if it's comfortable. It doesn't matter how far forward you've come, just so you've got a nice stretch through your lower back and into the buttocks. Relax your hands and your fingers again. And if you are sitting up on your block or your blanket and your knees are very high, if your hips are tighter, there's no need to worry about coming forward. It'll be enough to be staying sitting as you are for this time. Focusing on that breath. And if you're forward now, we'll start walking back. Coming back to upright and straightening out the legs. Let them point and flex a couple of times. Shake them out as you need. You might still be on your blanket if you need your hips a little bit higher. We're going to come forward again over the legs, a passive forward fold. So we're not bringing the toes back towards us, we're not lengthening forward as we often do. We're rounding forward over the legs. You're welcome to use a pillow or a blanket or your block on your thighs for somewhere for your head to rest on. So as you're ready, you can go forward. Any lower back issues, please keep a little bend in your knees so you're not placing too much pressure on your lower back. So you could roll a blanket again underneath or have a pillow under your knees as you go forward. You could also stay sitting upright if that's enough for you. It may only be a tiny amount that you come forward. If that's what your body needs, that's what you do. So when you're ready, take your time going in. We're going to hold this one for a few minutes. Into your forward fold. I'm in it with you. Let yourself relax. You send yourself a little reminder here that there's nothing else you need to be doing. Only this at this moment. Regardless of where the mind flits around to, just doing this. Choose to come back here. Relax your feet and your hands. Relax all the muscles of the face. Let go of any holding anywhere on the body. And slowly start to bring yourself up now. Take your time. And spreading the feet quite wide, leaning back and let the knees windscreen wiper side to side. You can let the hips rock as well. We're going to make our way back onto the floor now, onto our backs. So a couple more rounds with the knees, and then we'll make our way in. Have your block handy or your blanket as you go. Find yourself lying down, and we'll just draw the knees in here and enjoy a little rock side to side on the lower back. We're going to take a reclining twist now. So keeping the right knee up, let the left leg go straight down, straight ahead down the floor, and then bring your right knee over to the floor on the left. And if it doesn't come all the way down, then you place your block or your blanket underneath. Let the arms come out. Let the face turn up towards the ceiling. Nice passive twist. And let yourself adjust to this shape. Relax your shoulder down. And keep your left leg relatively straight ahead from the body rather than following that right leg around. If you would like to, you can take your hands even further up or further down. See what feels better. I like mine straight out from the body. So you just support yourself as needed here. If you need an additional blanket under your right arm, you can go with that, or a bolster or a pillow, something to bring the floor up if it's not on the floor. Relax the fingers if you need to. Stay with your breath. Releasing the right hand towards the left, and make your way onto your back again. Drawing the knees in, go on the inside edges of the knees with your hands and hold onto the shins, big toes together, drawing everything down. And then we take the second side of the twist, release the hands, hold the left knee, right leg goes straight ahead, turning over so that the knee is over on the right side, releasing the left arm to the left. Supporting yourself as needed again, right leg relatively straight down from the body and looking up towards the ceiling. Back at the beginning of the pose. Give yourself time to settle in. Let all the skin of the face drop down and relax. from here. An easy transition into Shavasana. So release your left leg and set yourself up for relaxation. Cover yourself with your blanket if it's chilly. Arms and legs relaxed. Feeling the whole body, it's heavy, floppy. Whole body sinking down. And beginning now to deepen the breath a little bit. Bring some movement back to the body. Drawing the knees up towards you. Gently rocking side to side. And coming all the way over onto your side. Get a little pillow out of your arm. And rest here. Press down through your hands to come all the way up to a comfortable seat. Let the palms sit face up on your lap or on your knees. I'm grateful for this opportunity to release tension held in the body, anticipation in the mind. Connect with ourselves more deeply. May this practice benefit you and everyone around you. Finishing with the hands at the chest. Namaste.